The Jaguar F Type, a car that, if you're watching this video, you probably either own or you're looking at owning. But it does have some pretty cool hidden features. And I want to talk about things that I didn't necessarily know about when I bought this car, and I've learnt about on the way. Some of them are pretty cool, and some of them are just pretty useless, but still, I didn't know about them. And maybe you do, or maybe you don't, so let me know down in the comments. While you're there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and check out my other videos. Anyway, enough of that nonsense. Let's dive into tips and tricks or things you may not know about the Jaguar F Type. So first up, the auto vents. Now, yes, I can hear people thinking already, we know about the auto vents. What on earth are you telling us about those for? They come up and they go down with the aircon, and it's a really cool little touch. But did you know they don't have to come up and go down all the time? Let me show you. So I've got mine set so that all the time the aircon's on, these come up. Let me show you. Turn the aircon off and they will drop down now that I've fixed them. These have a habit of getting stuck and can be quite a pricey fix, but there is a way to fix these. And when you turn them on, they will come back up. But you may not want that happening all the time. Let me show you exactly what I mean. In the settings, you've got an option under all settings. You can go into, I believe it's features. There we go, climate. And you've got this setting down here for your auto vents. You can have them always open when your climate control is turned on, or you can change them to auto, so they will come up and down depending on what this is doing and where you've got it facing. So if you, for example, you've got the footwell, the air blowing down in the footwell or on the windscreen, this will close because it's not needed. I've left it to be always open because it's less wear on the vents. As I said, they've got a tendency to fail, and if they're up and down all the time as the auto climate control is doing its thing, logic would dictate that there's more wear going on this. So I've just left it so that they're always up when the car's on. But yeah, we know about the vents, but maybe you didn't know about that feature. So that's number one, the auto vents. So just down from the auto vents, number two, the gear shifter. Yes, I'm quietly confident that you know about the gear shifter, but let me show you this. You start the car and you put it into drive. I'm just going to put the handbrake on so I don't go flying off. If you pop it into sport, which I'm sure we all do, this is the magic combination, dynamic and sport mode. Lovely. So you've got it in sport. Now what happens, you can shift up and down the gears with your slapstick there, but if you stop the car, watch what happens. I did not know that happened. That's probably really obvious to some people, but that gave me the fright of my life when I forgot I was in sport mode and turned the car off, and I heard this thud and I thought, oh, someone's crashed into me. No, it's the gear stick moving back over. Might be obvious to some of you, but I did not know that happened. So point number two, if you stop the car when you're in sport mode, it flicks back over. Now point number three is these handles. Not the fact they pop out, I mean that is really cool, but it's how to use them, and that sounds really daft, how to use a handle. But I see this so many times, either when I'm at a car show, I've even seen other people with F-Types on YouTube doing this, you know who you are, and it just makes me cringe every time. To open and lock this, you actuate the handle. That again sounds really silly, but you tap it. And I see people pushing it and forcing the motor, but you just tap and it locks. And then you push this button here, this small button, and it unlocks. And it's as simple as that. And I'm going to regret doing this, but what I see people doing is pushing it in. And you can hear the motor fighting it. You don't need to do that. Look after the longevity of your door handles and just tap these things here. It's not like an Aston Martin or a Tesla where you need to physically flip the handle out. It's all actuated and you're putting extra strain on those motors by forcing them around. Now point number four is the auto dipping mirror on reverse. Now that shouldn't come as a surprise to some of you. Dipping mirror on reverse is a known option on these cars, but let me tell you exactly what I'm talking about. When you use the standard dip on reverse, the mirror dips exactly as it says on the tin, but in my opinion it just goes far too low. You're staring at the floor and you can't see where you're going. Now yes, you've got a rear view camera, and yes, you've got a rear view mirror, and yes, you've got the other mirror over here, but there's something that's in the middle, like a middle ground, that I think is just a lot better, and it's exactly this. You go into your menu in here, go into your vehicle settings, and under convenience features, you can turn off that reverse dip mirror like that. Then, if you've got memory seats, set your seat to your desired memory, and then, once you've done that, change your mirror. Dip your mirror down and save it as an unused memory setting. Change nothing else, none of your seat, just the mirror. And then when you select that mirror setting, when you're reversing, your mirror dips to a more sensible level. And then when you're done, you just go back to your seat setting and your mirror comes back up. Now that's a little one. It's arguably not necessary, but for me it just means I can get that mirror exactly where I want it. And it's bizarre, you can't adjust the dip on reverse mirror in the Jaguar. Other cars, you put the car in reverse and set the mirror to where you want it and it saves that position, but for some reason in the F Type it just doesn't do that. Maybe it's a problem with my car. Let me know down in the comments if you can do that with yours. Now, point number 5, whilst we're talking about this memory setting system here, you may have noticed that there's also one on the side here. Now I've got mine set to manual, and this is the electrically adjustable steering column, but if you set it to auto, it will adjust with the seat settings. So as you change your seats and whatnot, it will change your steering column. Now I've turned it off because there's just no need. We never change the angle of the steering column. And I'm going to turn that back off before I forget. But the number of people that I see in the forums asking what that symbol means, it's exactly that. It moves the steering column based on the memory settings of your seats. You can also get it where you can adjust the pedal boxes. That wasn't optioned onto this car, but there'd be a third setting for that, and you can select the position of your pedal box. And last, but by no means least, we're back in the vehicle settings on the screen here. And I want to talk about the gear shift paddles. We've spoken about shifting with this and how I got a bit overexcited about it moving itself around. But a thing I see a lot is people asking how they can activate these in any mode. And that is exactly in here, in convenience features. And you go down to gear shift paddles. And then you've got two choices, active in sport only, and then active in sport and drive. So that's pretty self-explanatory, but they won't work when you're in drive if you've got the top one selected. Obviously, we drive everywhere in sport, so there's no point taking it out of that, but there you have it. I see that question a lot in the forums, and hopefully that sheds some light on it. So there you have it, some hidden features, some tips and tricks, call it what you may. Stuff you may or may not have known about the Jaguar F Type. It's stuff that I've learned along the way on my journey, and hopefully I can shed some light on those bits for you too. But hey, it's just a bit of fun and stuff that I found interesting. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. As always, I appreciate all the support this channel gets, so please do drop a sub by hitting that button down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.